All right, Chris, if people want some more practical advice.
Let's do it.
So this one comes from our legal advice on Reddit. Okay. And it says, a child drowned when I was at the lake, which is of course awful. It says, I went to the lake recently with some friends, and while we were there, a child was drowning. Yeah. They went out, recovered the body, and started doing the CPR, right? Everything you're supposed to do. He was sent to the hospital. It says here they don't believe that he did wake up. And their question was, do they need to take any steps to protect themselves legally? Obviously, it's awful. They got to think about that at all. It says they did everything they could to save him, but he was underwater for a long time. Can he be held liable in any way if the kid doesn't survive?
Not really. In South Carolina, we have something that's called a Good Samaritan statute. And I believe every state in the country has passed some version of this statute. But the one in South Carolina says, look, no person that renders emergency medical aid, as long as you're not being paid, not for compensation, you're just doing it gratuitously, Good Samaritan, right? Sure. That you're not civilly liable for any harm you cause unless, and there's one exception, unless you are grossly negligent. You didn't even exercise slight care. In this situation, I think they're absolutely immune from any liability. It would take something like, imagine you rescued somebody, you were drunk, and you just horrifically did CPR so much that to where you actually caused somebody's something just way out of line of what a normal person would do, which doesn't sound like we have here.
So how much of it is about intent? Like, what if I'm not trained at CPR, but I'm like, oh, someone's got to do something, and I just try?
I think that's fine. Again, it's the absence of slight care. So think about that. I mean, if you just weren't trained in CPR, but you just felt like, look, if I don't do anything, this person's definitely going to die, you're exercising some care there. It would take something extreme. It's something that I think you as someone observing it would be like, wow, yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's ridiculous.
And actually, I'm scrolling down here and they have an edit. And it says they received a text today that the child was awake, sitting up and speaking.
Oh, that's the best news.
Seems to be doing good, yeah.
It's a wonderful result that the young man pulled through. And that's exactly why you have these laws, right? You protect people so they're not afraid to go do the right thing. And hopefully it turns out like this case where they save a life.